up at the top left corner. 2 individuals run to the vehicle. They shoot a couple shots. They take off. He runs around the gate. He can't jump the gate, so seemed like he wanted to make his way back to the vehicle, but they like he can't jump the gate, so they run down on him over there behind the trash can.
Sky 4 video shows the amount of shell casings surrounding Sibley's vehicle.
If you were aware that the takedown was going to take place prior to it happening, you are not only part of the problem, but you are the problem.
Before you can stop going through it with her son. This little girl in her room playing her video game or in there doing TikToks, and you shoot through the house looking for the brother or the cousin or the uncle or the daddy, and you little girl. And all she wanted to do was TikTok and dance. She liked to dance.
The feds just dropped some heat, leaked footage of the dudes on the run for taking out Lil Ronnie and his lil baby girl. Now, if you know anything about this whole case, then you know how tragic and messy it is. We are talking about real street business, and it's got everybody asking the same question. Why? But before we even get into the new footage and all the latest evidence, let's break down what really went down. It's Monday morning, 10:45 a.m. Lil Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter Armani are just minding their business at Slappy's Express Car Wash in Forest Hill, Texas. Just a normal day, and then a white 4-door Kia pulls up. These dudes pop out, and without a word, they just start letting it off. Straight up, no remorse. Ronnie and his baby girl are caught in the crossfire. Despite people trying to save them, both Ronnie and Armani didn't make it. That's the part that's really messing folks up. This wasn't just some street beef. They took out a youngin', a 5-year-old, bro. That's unforgivable.
And the other, he's, finishing the job, and as he's running, he collapses at the other stall, so that's how he ended up over there.
Now, the street's been talking, and the feds made it official. They are looking for 24-year-old Adonis Robinson and 21-year-old Jacobe Russell. And these dudes ain't strangers to street drama. Adonis is a certified creep. And when I say certified, I mean this dude got a rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt. Arlington police first scooped him up in October 2018 for unlawfully carrying a weapon, evading arrest, and failure to identify. A grand jury let him slide on the evasion charge, and the weapon charge got dropped when he pleaded guilty to misdemeanor failure to identify, already moving reckless. Then in 2019, things got even more grimy. Fort Worth police arrested Adonis for attempted SA. This man really attacked a 55-year-old woman jogging near Marine Creek Lake, tried to pull her pants down. The only reason it didn't go further was cause a bystander heard her screaming and ran up, scaring him off. Straight up nasty behavior. But wait, there's more, because a grand jury indicted him in September 2019, and he spent over 2 years in jail for that crime. When he finally got out, a judge made sure he had to register as an offender for 10 years. And surprise, surprise, this dude couldn't even follow that simple requirement. Court records show he kept violating his community supervision conditions and even failed to appear in court at least once. By May 2022, Robinson wasn't even completing his offender registration. Fort Worth police had to pick him up again in June 2022, and this time he pleaded guilty to a felony for failing to comply with SO registration requirements. A judge hit him with 1 year in state jail. So when I say Adonis Robinson should have never been outside, I'm speaking facts. And then there is Jacobe. This dude's record is looking just as messy. In January 2023, Fort Worth police scooped up Jacobe for putting hands on a pregnant woman. Officials called it DV, and the charging doc said he was out here striking, scratching, and dragging her. Wild behavior. By June 2023, Jacobe pleaded guilty to the charge, and instead of locking him up, Judge Elizabeth Beach hit him with 3 years of community supervision. Now get this, all he had to do was stay out of trouble, take some battery prevention classes, do some community service, and not own a firearm. But nah, this guy couldn't even do that. Court records show Jacobe was failing left and right. He skipped the classes, tested positive for a controlled substance twice, and didn't even pay his court-ordered fees. Bro was out here standing on irresponsibility, no cap. Then it gets crazier. By December 2023, Jacobe was back on his BS, this time for shooting and injuring a man in Fort Worth. They hit him with an aggravated assault, a deadly weapon charge. And what happened? Prosecutors cut him another deal. Instead of the heavy charge, he pleaded guilty to a lesser misdemeanor on January 27, 2025. But it don't stop there. Judge Beach extended his community supervision by 1 year and hit him with a year-long labor detail sentence. Basically, he could work off his time instead of going to jail. But guess what? Jacobe couldn't even show up to work. By February 11, a warrant was out for his arrest, and then on February 18, that same warrant got recalled. Then boom, March 3rd rolls around and the Forest Hill shooting goes down. And tell me how this man was still out in the streets, free to be involved in some wild mess like this? But at least this time they didn't really manage to get away, at least not all of them. Reports say that the car they ditched was what helped the police get a lead on these dudes. They traced it back and made some moves, and one of them's already in cuffs.
In custody, wanted for the Forest Hill of a 30-year-old man named Ronnie Sibley and his 5-year-old daughter, Romani Sibley. Well, one of them is in custody. I think Adonis is in custody. I don't know if both of them are, but...
Forest Hill Police Chief David Hernandez confirmed that 24-year-old Adonis Robinson got picked up Thursday afternoon in Livingston, Texas, about 75 miles east of Houston. So yeah, one down, but the streets are still hot because Jacobe Russell is out here ducking and dodging. And you already know when one falls, the pressure on the other one goes way up. Now everybody want to know why Lil Ronnie. From what we're hearing, dude wasn't out here with no crazy beef. His fam said he was just a local rapper, a family man who kept to himself and his youngins.
And he was going around rapping. Okay, why would you target him? Why would you target him? He didn't bother nobody. And a baby, his baby.
But despite his family painting that picture, the streets tell a different story. Word is, Lil Ronnie was about that life, and that's exactly why it caught up with him. Folks with ears to the pavement say he wasn't just some innocent bystander, and the drama he was mixed up in finally came knocking. And here's where it gets even wilder. People claim Ronnie had already been warned about this. 4 months ago, on IG Live, somebody straight up told him not to set foot at that exact same car wash. Bro got a heads up and he still pulled up with his daughter, no less.
Oh my damn mama, you can't go to that car wash, boy. Yeah, it's been a lot of talk, but you haven't got touched. And your partner, he haven't got touched in the worst way. On blood game, man. You just don't got not one dead op. It's not one that ain't folk eat at the city. No, hey, he dangerous.
Now, the street's been weighing in heavy on this one. Comments popping off like, dude told him on live, don't go back to that car wash 4 months ago, and you go back with your daughter? Is that the only car wash in town? I'm confused. Another person also had the same thought, asking, didn't those guys tell him not to go to that car wash? But out of ego, he went anyway and took his daughter. If this is true, that's next level reckless. When you know there's heat in a certain spot, you don't test fate, especially when you got your little one with you. But despite those speculations, the feds said they are looking into his rap career and his social media to see if there was any tension or threats, cause sometimes the clout chase turns deadly. And when you're buzzing, everybody ain't happy for you. And get this, word is, when those shots started ringing off, G-Money Ronnie did what any real father would do. He ran, trying to lead the heat away from his baby girl. But these dudes weren't letting up. They chased him down, caught up to him, and put the drop on him. And man, in the chaos, his daughter ended up caught in the crossfire. That's the part that's breaking everybody's heart. She ain't have nothing to do with this, just a little one.
I don't see how so many people saying he was wrong, oh, he left his baby girl. I don't think that's what he was running for. I don't think he was running to leave his baby girl the way some people think he was. I think he was running away from that car because the attention was on him. So let me run away from that car so that my baby girl don't get hit.
Forest Hill was shook after this went down. The crowd at the scene was so big, police had to call for backup just to keep things under control. And you already know folks want justice. They want answers. And most of all, they want these dudes off the streets. 2 warrants for capital redrum are already out on Adonis and Jacobe. And with the Texas Rangers taking over the case, it's only a matter of time before they catch the remaining suspect. And you already know people had a lot to say about this one. The reactions, straight up real. People ain't holding back their thoughts on how this whole situation went down. And honestly, some of these comments are speaking facts. One person kept it all the way 100, saying, exactly why I stopped gangbanging when I was younger. Thought it was cool and all back then, but I had a realization I wanted youngins one day, and they shouldn't get shot or unalived for something I decided to do with my life, so I got out. Man, that's real maturity right there. A lot of folks never make it to that realization, and sadly, situations like this keep happening because of it. Another user dropped some straight up wisdom, and if we're being honest, this needs to be said louder. louder. If you are a person who is doing anything in the streets, don't take your little ones around with you. We see it too many times. It's obvious that the kids won't be any protection because heartless criminals do not care. Mothers, protect your babies. And of course, people already know what's waiting for Adonis and Jacobe when they finally get locked up. Them inmates are gonna have a time with them when they get locked up. Man, this whole situation is wild and it leaves us with a lot to think about. Like, first off, why would Lil Ronnie even go back to that car wash if people were already warning him not to? Was it ego? Did he just not take the threat seriously? Second, why would you bring your little one into a situation when you know you got enemies? If the streets are calling your name, your number's bound to get dialed. So why take that risk with your baby right there? And third, what's really going on with these dudes, Adonis and Jacobe? How are they out here running wild with rap sheets like that? And why wasn't somebody keeping an eye on them before it got this far? Man, I need y'all to sound off in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this. And before you dip out, smash that like button, hit that subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on any stories straight out of the hood.